attitude of gratitude. So we're all aware by now that, Tank lost the opportunity at getting the bag. The Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis fight has been canceled. I seen online a lot of people are saying he did some fuck shit. That's some light-skinned nigga shit. They, through with Tank, and I feel like these are the same people that wanted him to do the rematch with Roach. These are the same people that, was saying they weren't even gonna watch the Jake Paul fight with Tank. I feel like outside looking in, we don't know what's going on in this man's life. So, we need to stop being so quick to judge people. I've done a lot of fucked up shit in my life, and a lot of shit I regret, and did a lot of people wrong, and it's like, it's inexcusable, but when you're going through shit, you do fucked up shit. Hurt people is the same. So we don't know what this man is going through. So I'm not about to sit here and go, talking shit about him. So I wanted to use this as an opportunity to talk about loss outside the ring, loss of opportunity. I was trying to think of something I could talk about, but there's nothing on the scale of, the opportunity that Tank lost. But I'll talk about how, in our family, let me remind you, I'm at the job, so I might have to work as you know what I'm saying? But, so in our family, wrestling was big. My father, was big on wrestling in high school, all that. All my brothers, wrestled. I got 4 older brothers. They wrestled, And then, so my father ended up moving us to A-Leaf, Texas, when I was still in middle school. So, it came a time when I got to high school, he was like, if you want to wrestle, I could send you back to New York and you could wrestle, but they didn't have wrestling here at the high schools we were going to. So he's like, but you got to get your grades right. And if you get your grades right, so he gave me that, opportunity to get my grades right, and then I could go back and wrestle. But, I was a badass as a kid. So I never got my grades right. I wasn't going to school. I dropped out. So when my father and I talk about wrestling now, I always be like, you never let me, go back to New York and wrestle and give me the opportunity. But I fucked that opportunity up. I try to blame him like, yo, you could have had a state champ. I would have did it, Dad. I was undefeated in middle school, junior high, as it was called in Long Island. But so I try to put that, but I know I was the one who messed up that opportunity. I lost, by being so involved in, wanting to be, out in the streets and, wanting to drink alcohol at a young age and, wasn't getting the females, but was trying to chase after them, so that's an opportunity I lost on, so I'm not going to sit here and, like I said, I know it's not on the caliber of Tank Davis. He lost out on a lot of money, but like I'll reiterate, we don't know what's going on in this man's life to be able to, judge him, for what's going on in this life. I mean, we don't even know if what's being alleged is true. I'm not, trying to say anything against the woman, but we don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So to be just talking, I mean, think about it. You ain't lost out on an opportunity from you being a fuck up, from you fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Doing some dumb shit, some bullshit. Like, we're all susceptible of being, a fuck up at times. We're all, susceptible of making mistakes. We shouldn't always be so quick to, what I'm saying, judge people when we don't know what's going on in people's lives, So, yeah, man, I just wanted this to be about loss of opportunity. So if you got any, like, put something in the goddamn comments. Let a nigga know something. Shit, subscribe. You see him at 9 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. Talk to a nigga in the comments. All right, I'm out.